The bold and the beautiful, Finn shattered reality, and the legacy of Luna's child ***, the newest twists in the bold and the beautiful place John Finnegan at the epicenter of a storm that will alter the course of his life and the Forrester family forever. For months, Finn has lived under the heavy weight of believing that Luna Nozawa was gone, her story ended in tragedy, and the chance of ever reconciling with her destroyed. Leigh Finnegan made sure of it. She convinced the world, including her son, that Luna's wounds had proven fatal. She closed that chapter with icy precision, making it seem final, irreversible, and undeniable. But nothing in Los Angeles stays buried, not forever, and certainly not in the tangled web of love, betrayal, and family secrets that define the Forresters and their orbit. Behind closed doors, Leigh has been meeting with attorneys, carefully orchestrating a plan to secure Luna's future. While the world mourned or dismissed Luna, Leigh was laying groundwork. Confidential meetings, whispered deals, delicate strategies to keep her niece from facing the harshest punishments and to redirect her life towards something resembling survival. But what Leigh doesn't realize, or perhaps refuses to admit, is that Luna has her own plan. And Luna's plan isn't neat. It isn't safe. And it certainly doesn't align with Leigh's cautious legal maneuvering. Because Luna is pregnant. The shocking revelation that Luna is carrying Will Spencer's child detonates through every corridor of Forrester Creations, every table at Il Giardino, and every private corner of Spencer Publications. The truth comes wrapped in scandal, a night blurred by alcohol, Will's intoxication, and Luna's decision to take advantage of the moment. For Finn, who has already been through years of chaos with Sheila Carter, Leigh's deception, and his own identity struggles, the discovery is almost too much to process. First, the heartbreak of realizing Luna is alive when he had buried her memory. Then, the devastation of knowing her survival is tied to another web of lies. Finally, the gut punch of her pregnancy, his niece, the girl he couldn't protect, the woman he couldn't guide, now carrying his first grandchild. A grandchild conceived in darkness, stained by manipulation, but still innocent. Still a spark of hope. Finn has no frame of reference for what he is supposed to feel. His instincts as a doctor tell him to care for the unborn child. His instincts as a father tell him to protect Will. His instincts as a son force him to question Leigh's relentless games. And yet, beneath it all, his heart cracks open at the thought of redemption. He missed every chance to guide Luna, every chance to be the kind of cousin, brother figure, or mentor she desperately needed. She grew up in chaos, she made reckless choices, and she suffered for it. He wasn't there. He didn't shield her. He didn't stop her fall. But maybe, with her child, he has another chance. Maybe this is fate's cruel way of handing him the second chance he was denied. Luna senses it. She knows Finn's heart, his compassion, his desperate need to heal, to mend broken things. And she uses it. She confronts him directly, not with apologies, but with ultimatums. If you want to know your grandchild, she says, you have to know me. We're a package deal. You can't separate us. You can't take one and leave the other. If you want to be a grandfather, you'll have to accept me as a mother. It's blackmail of the heart, and Finn knows it. But he can't walk away. Not when he envisions a baby's cry. Not when he imagines holding a child in his arms and giving them the stability Luna never had. Not when he pictures rewriting history, making things right by giving his grandchild what Luna was denied. Still, the obstacles are immense. The law looms. Luna has not escaped the consequences of her past entirely, and the specter of prison shadows every decision. If she can avoid incarceration, she dreams of a new life, built on fragile promises of family unity. If she cannot, then the child itself becomes the bargaining chip, the tether that ties Finn's conscience to her survival. As Finn wrestles with these revelations, the timing of fate delivers another blow, Steffy Forrester's imminent return to Los Angeles. After months away, regaining her balance, Recalibrating her life, Steffi steps back into the chaos just as Luna's pregnancy becomes public. She doesn't return to a husband waiting with open arms. She returns to a man spiraling between loyalty, guilt, and impossible decisions. She doesn't return to a safe, stable home. She walks back into a battlefield where her husband may be a grandfather to a child conceived under scandal and lies. For Steffi, who has always lived under the shadow of family wars, this is intolerable. She sees Luna as nothing more than another Sheila, dangerous, manipulative, toxic. She sees Finn's willingness to embrace the grandchild as weakness. And she makes her position clear. If you bring her into this house, if you bring her chaos into our family, you risk everything we built. But Finn is torn. His oath as a doctor, his duty as a son, his guilt as a cousin, and his longing as a father all collide into a storm. He looks at Luna, and he doesn't see just her crimes. He sees the child. He sees the chance to do better. He sees redemption. The courtroom becomes the stage once again as Luna's future is decided. Lawyers present medical reports. Lee testifies, her voice trembling as she admits to her part in covering Luna's supposed death, her reasoning always circling back to family and protection. The judge questions whether Luna's pregnancy changes the weight of her sentence. Bill Spencer fights tooth and nail, insisting that Luna manipulated his son, that Will was intoxicated, that what happened that night was not consensual in any real sense. Katie stands by him, fierce in her demand for justice, unwilling to watch another Spencer heir fall victim to scandal. And through it all, Will remains unwavering. He defends Luna. He insists he loves her. He swears he wants to be a father to the child. His words sting, not just for his parents, but for Finn, who recognizes the same blind loyalty he once had for Sheila. The trial crescendos when Luna herself takes the stand. She doesn't beg for forgiveness. She doesn't deny her past. Instead, she tells the court that she is carrying a life, and that life deserves a chance free of hatred, free of vengeance. She looks directly at Finn when she says it. You couldn't save me, she whispers, but you can save your grandchild. The jury deliberates. The verdict is uncertain. But the outcome is inevitable. Finn's life will never be the same. Whether Luna is sentenced to prison or granted parole, whether she is condemned or redeemed, the child remains. The grandchild remains. The bloodline remains. And Finn must decide whether he is strong enough to build a bridge where everyone else sees only ruins. In the bold and the beautiful, nothing is ever truly final. Every ending births another beginning. And now, in the ashes of betrayal and deceit, a new legacy stirs. Finn, the man who lost the chance to be a guide to Luna, may find himself stepping into an even greater role: grandfather, protector, redeemer. But with Steffy back in town, with the Forresters watching, with the Spencers vowing revenge, one question burns hotter than the California sun. Will this child unite the families or tear them apart forever? The bold and the beautiful, Hope's fragile heart, Carter's patience, and Thomas's reckoning **** Los Angeles is never quiet, not in the world of Forrester creations, not in the lives of the Logans, the Forresters, and the Spencers whose entangled histories always return to the same battleground: love, loyalty, betrayal, and second chances. Hope Logan, who for months has struggled to rebuild herself after the storm of her relationship with Thomas Forrester, has finally begun to find her footing again. In Carter Walton, she found stability, a strong shoulder, a man who listens more than he speaks, a man who doesn't try to control her decisions or rewrite her choices. For the first time in what feels like years, Hope breathes without the weight of Thomas's obsession pressing down on her. But just when her heart begins to heal, the past comes crashing back with an announcement that shakes the foundations of everything she thought she knew. Thomas Forrester is coming back to Los Angeles. The news travels fast through the offices of Forrester Creations, whispered in the design room, shouted in the hallways, dissected in Ridge's office. The name Thomas is on every tongue, every sentence beginning with speculation. Is he alone? Is Paris with him? What has he been doing in Paris since he left? Has he changed? Has he healed? Or is this the same man who destroyed Hope's trust, manipulated his way into her life, and left her shattered? For Hope, the announcement cuts deeper than any rumor. She knows what it means to feel safe with Carter, to find her rhythm again at Hope for the future. But she also knows what it means when Thomas returns. His presence has always been a gravitational force, pulling her back into chaos, pulling her into emotions she doesn't want to admit still exist. Carter feels it too. He has been patient, slow, deliberate. He has built his role in Hope's life brick by brick, never rushing, never demanding, giving her the space she needed after Thomas. He has been the steady friend, the loyal advisor, the quiet man who becomes the hero when no one else notices. But with one name, Thomas, everything Carter has built trembles. He has seen this before, with Quinn, with Zoe, with every relationship where he thought loyalty would win and passion ended up burning him instead. He knows that no matter how strong a foundation is, one reckless spark can destroy it. Douglas Forrester becomes the center of it all. The boy who has carried the weight of his father's mistakes, who has stood by Hope as both son and confidant, now dares to dream of something else, family. A true family, reunited with his father, with Hope, in the way he has always secretly wanted. For Douglas, Thomas's return isn't about business or redemption. It's about healing. It's about his dad coming back. It's about his mom figure and his father finally finding the bridge that's been missing all these years. In his eyes, Thomas deserves another chance, and he voices it in ways that cut through Hope's resolve. A child's hope is hard to ignore, and every time Douglas asks, every time he dreams aloud about his parents being together again, Hope feels the walls she has built begin to weaken. Ridge and Taylor see the same thing. For Ridge, Thomas's return is an opportunity. His son has always been brilliant, creative, driven, but his demons dragged him into ruin. Ridge wants to believe in his son. He wants to believe Thomas has changed. And he sees Douglas's longing as proof that this family can be healed. Taylor, as both mother and doctor, leans on the belief in growth, in therapy, in the chance that time and distance have truly reshaped Thomas into someone better. She urges Hope to at least hear him out, to let Douglas have the reunion he craves. But Taylor also watches Carter, quietly, seeing the steady presence Hope leans on, the man who has no darkness hidden in the shadows. Taylor knows the risk. Letting Thomas return could cost Hope everything she has rebuilt. The stage is set at Hope for the future, where rumors swirl that Thomas's designs, his eye for detail, his ability to create magic on the runway, could save the line from stagnation. HFDF has been struggling, profits dipping, pressure mounting. Investors are nervous. Ridge suggests that Thomas's return to the design team could reignite the brand, give it the spark it has been missing since he left. It is a practical move, a business decision, but everyone knows it's more than that. It's emotional. It's personal. It's a test for Hope. Can she work with Thomas again without losing herself? Can she stand beside him at the drawing table and not fall back into the same cycle of vulnerability and betrayal? Or will she risk everything she has built with Carter for another chance with a man who has already broken her once? Hope is torn. In Carter's arms, she finds peace, warmth, stability. He represents the life she has always said she wanted, safe, steady, without manipulation or betrayal. But the whisper of Thomas's return burns in her chest, a reminder that the heart doesn't always want what is safe. Sometimes it wants what is dangerous, what is passionate, what is complicated. And that conflict leaves her restless, staring at her designs late into the night, sketching without focus, remembering moments with Thomas that she swore she would forget. Carter notices. He sees the way she hesitates when Thomas's name comes up. He sees the way Douglas lights up when talking about his father. And Carter knows. He knows this isn't just about business. It's about love. It's about the kind of love that doesn't follow logic, that doesn't care about who is steady or who is safe. And Carter feels the ground slipping beneath his feet. The town buzzes with speculation about Thomas's arrival. Brooke worries for her daughter, fearing history will repeat itself, fearing Hope will once again fall into the cycle that destroyed her before. Liam, watching from the outside, reminds Hope that she has always been strong, that she doesn't need Thomas to validate her or HFDF. But his words land differently now. He has no claim on her, no place to demand anything. Hope listens, but she makes her own decisions. When Thomas finally arrives in Los Angeles, the air shifts. He steps into Forrester Creations, confident, calm, almost disarmingly different. He doesn't come with arrogance. He doesn't come with excuses. He comes with sketches, with new ideas, with designs that stun everyone in the room. He comes with Paris, or without her, it hardly matters, because his presence alone is enough to ignite the tension Carter feared most. Douglas runs into his arms, tears streaming down his face, whispering, "I knew you'd come back." Ridge's eyes glisten with pride. Taylor exhales relief. And Hope, standing there, torn between fear and desire, sees the man she swore she would never let back into her life, and feels her heart betray her all over again. Carter watches from across the room. The man who had been the steady choice, the man who gave Hope safety, now stands invisible as the storm of Thomas's return consumes her. He clenches his jaw, knowing he may lose her not because of anything he failed to do, but because Thomas's shadow will always loom larger. Forrester Creations braces for the fallout. Hope for the future braces for another gamble. And Hope Logan, trapped between the memory of betrayal and the dream of redemption, faces the question that will decide everything. Is her heart truly healed, or has it only been bandaged until Thomas's touch ripped it open again? In the bold and the beautiful, timing is everything. And Thomas's return is not just about fashion, not just about family, not just about business. It's about the test of a woman's heart, the battle between the safe choice and the dangerous one, and the inevitable truth that in Los Angeles, no past ever stays buried.
Oh.